All right, you ready to get into this, brother?
Hopefully you found all these weird books that I.
I found all and more, brother. All and more. We've got an amazing almost 10 tonight, you guys. One of the better almost 10s. A lot of fun books that I'm very excited to talk about a little bit more because Stein made me talk about one of them. So I figured, screw it. Let's just show you all the cornbread. So an amazing almost 10 tonight, you guys. Let's get into it. We start off with an interesting one. I can't remember where we talked about this, but we did talk about this. This is the Dashers #1. This is a special DoorDash exclusive for everybody out there getting their goodies from DoorDash. This is a DoorDash drivers comic.
What is this? Is this all they're just gonna do now? Like we're gonna have McDonald's, Marvel, and Taco Bell, and I mean, is this just everybody's just gonna
Yeah.
Target? I mean, why not? Literally, who is this dude? The gray-haired dude. I mean, come on.
It's pretty funny, dude. It says official synopsis: the Dashers comic book features 4 superhero characters. They're each valued dashing for a different reason. Ernesto values the ability to explore the city and having different experiences. Julia appreciates being able to earn flexibility while taking care of her family. Remy is an aspiring chef who dashes to support her passion, and Andrew is a young tech-savvy college student who dashes to help buy books and support his education. They each utilize their own Dasher superpower. I like that one. I like that a lot. From their ability to be in multiple places at once, or omni-replication, in quotes, to hyper flexibility or supernatural elasticity, in quotes, and more to navigate the city dash and ultimately save the day. Has anybody read this? I want to know if anybody in the chat has actually read this.
Yeah, and Mag Daddy, I'm not sure exactly who did the cover on this. It's kind of actually hard to like if it the wording on it is hard to actually do a search on. So it's just kind of a weird like hopefully somebody puts a DoorDash in like the listing or it's really kind of hard to find, but um I don't know. This is just one of the, who knows how many of these printed. They
Well,
could.
you can read the actual book if anybody wants to read it. I dropped the digital link in the chat for anybody. It's DoorDash.com/Marvel if you actually want to go check it out. But it was given out at NYCC, it sounds like. So
Very strange. It's
yeah,
$40 book.
not bad. Not bad. If you just grabbed one, I'm sure a lot of them are pretty trash. I bet you if you DoorDash, if you make your money with DoorDash, this is something kind of cool to you and maybe you want to get. But yeah, I'm very interested. I don't know who did that cover. It doesn't really say. I don't see anything here. Yeah, from what I'm looking at, I can't tell who did the cover. It's pretty interesting there. But it's worth checking out for you guys that might have it and might want to throw it up and make some money. That's for sure. $40 isn't too bad. All right, next on the list. This is an interesting one. Shout out again to Redhood, who talked about this one on Modern Comic Mayhem on Saturday. This is a cool story from Hood. He got sent this in a pressing order. And you guys go check out Hood's Instagram. It's on his Instagram and his TikTok. And he shows, the pressing job he did on it, which was immaculate. It was amazing. But he said when he opened this up,
this guy submitted these books, and that one book is super fucking rare, right? I opened the book up, and on the first page is a stamp. My uncle's shop.
Are you kidding me, dude?
No, I'm not kidding you, bro. And I was like,
what a small world.
I'm going to get hit by a truck. So like I hit up the dude and I go, hey man, this book is from my uncle's shop, dude. I probably fucking stamped it, because that was the thing that we did on some early back issues or whatever. But that book is an extremely rare book. Like go look it up on eBay, dude. You'll be shocked. Oh, look, see that? Look.
Yeah, bro.
700, 900. Is that a graded one? What's the grade on that? The 7.0, $1,200. Damn.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any been sold lately. Let's take a look.
Look at that shit, bro. And look at the
Yeah.
condition on them, dude.
Yeah. Wow. All in the 300 range.
And it's pretty cool art, man. I was kind of surprised. I kind of dug it.
Wow.
How cool is that, dude? That's awesome.
Crazy.
This is Black Man #1 from Leader Comics Group. Leader Comics Group. So super rare issue that was put out to introduce a positive Black role model into the lives of children in 1981. 1981 on this one. Super rare. We looked it up on the show. They're selling from anywhere from like $3 to $350 in terrible condition, because most of them are just in really, really bad condition. So pretty dope. 119 live. What up, everybody in the chat? Thanks for hanging out. I see Flame Brain Comics. I see One Does Not Simply Read Comics. That's a very interesting nickname or name right there. Shout out to Joey Dementia and Rated Raw, of course. High Voltage Mark, Brad Selden Esquire in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's get on to the next one. And this is the one that just all the dominoes fell after this one. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. Oh, boy. Here we go. Let's get into it. Another gorgeous Arthur Sidem cover. You guys all know I have a love-hate relationship with this man. His art is absolutely amazing. And here's a perfect example. The Man with No Name, #1, the Arthur Sidem variant from 2008. Absolutely gorgeous book from Dynamite. Shout out Dynamite. Nick Brucci. Tough book to find.
Yeah, this is just a B cover. So it's not like it's like the A cover sells for like $2. This cover sells for 60, which blew me away. Had no idea that anybody was even looking for this book. But yeah, it looks like it's basically he just took Clint Eastwood and just zombied him.
With a huge hand, too. Look at that zombie hand. That's like a One Punch Man hand.
Right. Yeah, so I would have never even thought to look for this, even though I usually look through Dynamite stuff, especially the stuff from 15 years ago. I definitely look through Dynamite stuff for that, because you always look for the Red Sonjas, the Vampirellas, those type of things. But now I'm gonna have to. I didn't even know that this was even a title though, at all. So
yeah. Well, he did some great work for Dynamite, and this is why this Almost 10 is so great, ladies and gentlemen, because we're just going to drop all the cornbread because Stein had to do it. Stein had to put up another Sidem Dynamite book. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Raise the Dead, issues 1 through 4. All amazing Sidem covers. And as you know, I do collect Uncle Sam covers, and I do collect another cover in this bunch. But I definitely own the set. There is a couple variants to this. There's a negative black and a reverse negative and a black and white variant, I believe, to this. All of them are great. Issue #1 here. This is I think it's the regular A cover. I don't know if they did A or B covers for this. I think this might be the only cover, but it could be a B cover. I'm not 100% sure. Here is #2, a zombified version of the great painter and Americana artist, right? That I always forget his name, Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell.
Yep. So pretty dope cover right here. There is a black and white, and I believe these are the B covers. I believe there's A covers that are just regular zombie covers of the characters. So these are the B covers or homage covers, I guess. But there is a black and white version of this one also. So be on the lookout for that. Issue #2. Issue #3, one of the best of all these are great. It's a 4-issue run, but how good is this? The homage cover again to the great pop artist Andy Warhol. Pretty dope. Badass Marilyn Monroe zombie cover. There is a black and white version of this and a regular A cover, so be on the lookout for that. And finally, issue #4, the badass Nirvana Nevermind cover. I do collect these covers also, so love the homage to Nevermind, but this is a particularly good one. Zombie baby going after a zombie ear on a hook. So
Yeah, and if you don't know, there was a Raise the Dead 2, a second series of this, and those all have Perio covers, and those are sick covers. I think it's maybe issue number 3 has probably the most ridiculous copper tone homage ever.
yeah, is that the one that also has the Washington one where they're crossing the river and they're zombified?
Yes, I think so, and it's also got the uh, was like after D-Day, the picture in like New York City
Yep,
with
where they're
the with
kissing.
yeah it's
Yeah.
got a zombified of that. Yeah, very very cool covers to these series.
Yeah. Make sure you guys go check the R section of the comic store. All right, on to the next one. Almost 10. Getting into some manga here. By the way, you guys, we have a new segment on Saturday nights on Modern Comic Mayhem. We have a new manga segment that we're going to be rocking starting this week. And I love this pick on the Almost 10. A killer book, Attack on Titan, the Japanese version from 2010. Tough book to find.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's all in Japanese, but at least it does say Attack on Titan in English, so you can at least see that. But um, yeah, it was listed as in good condition because it said it had water damage and staining. Still sold for $140 of this, so it's a thick book too. Like it's like thick. But isn't that generally how most manga stuff is? They're always like full book type
Yep.
things.
Yep. Shout out to Nick Hart also, who is another great community member who has a great YouTube channel where he talks about manga and on anime quite often. All right, on the next, Danger Girl #1, the Chromium A Go-Go version.
Yeah, this has always been kind of one of those. Um, it's available, but it's not the easiest to find. Like I'm not sure exactly. I mean, because these came out what 99, something like that, 2000, and I don't remember exactly how these were distributed. Obviously, this is like old school Campbell. Right when Danger Girl started, um, and then this is just a cool Chromium. Straight out of like the '60s. Cover, but
Early
um,
Chromium cover, right?
$180. Yeah, it's fully Chromium. $180 raw sale this week on this, which is it's usually sold for 80, 90, so it's a lot higher than that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will say, and I will say this, and I don't know what it was, I don't know what's going on, but I saw a bunch of J. Scott Campbell books selling for premiums this week. A lot of them. So I don't know if it's just one person buying a whole bunch of J. Scott Campbell books or what, but there is a bunch of them that were selling well this week. Almost like old school, like we used to see his books selling all the time.
Yeah, good. His art's been really good lately, and I don't know if people agree with that, but I think the books he's been putting out as late have been really good. So check them out. We'll might see one later in the list. So, all right, next on the list. This is an interesting one, a very interesting one right here, you guys. This is Night of the Living Dead, the London trade paperback edition. Is this the right book?
That is
No?
not the right one.
It
Nope.
is not the right book.
No.
What is the right book?
It is. It actually the right book doesn't say Night of the Living Dead. It just says Living Dead London.
So what is going on? That's actually a pretty dope cover right there. I like that
Yeah,
skull cover.
I'm not really sure. I don't know if this was released only in London or like if this is only like in England or if this was released in America. Really don't know. But the copy that sold this, well, apparently this is not that easy to find, but um, the copy that sold was in like VG condition. It was rough, and it sold for $70 as a trade paperback. So, um, not sure how hard it is to find, but again, you've probably seen in the last several lists, trade paperbacks, manga, anime stuff is still selling, even though a lot of the Silver Age keys, Bronze Age keys, and stuff have all kind of dropped. Here in America, all these other things are still doing well. So I'm not saying shift your collection, but at least keep an eye out for some of these things. You know, in the meantime.
There is a really cool book that I did find while I was searching out that book. And it is this Night of the Living Dead #1 from Fantico. Look at that cover. There's 4 issues. It's a 0 through 3 set. That's a pretty interesting cover right there. So never seen that book ever. If I'm not mistaken, I'll show you guys the rest of the 4.
Yeah, I've never seen any of these books.
Here's the rest of the 4. 0 cover, but look at that Mickey Mouse cover right there.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
All right. So some very interesting looking books for this set. This one's interesting, pointing the gun at it. They're all interesting covers that I definitely would pick up if I saw them in a back issue bin.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for those. Yep. All right. Next, we've got a gorgeous cover, an absolutely beautiful cover right here. This is New Mutants baseball cover, which is, like I said, gorgeous. Number 27 from the 2011 run. It's the 1/20 baseball variant. And there was a bunch of these variants put out by a famous Pixar studio artist list. So
from the
Pixar,
you mean from this Captain America 70th anniversary set?
yeah. So it says here, Pixar story artist and animator draw covers for Marvel Comics. This is from the Pixar Times, and they're talking about this book right here, which is pretty interesting, as you can see. There's a couple books here. Pixar story artist Bobby Rubio contributed the Incredible Hulk 632 cover, and then Austin Madsen drew the New Mutants 27. So if you're Pixar fans, those might be 2 books you might want to look to pick up. So that's just gorgeous. That is absolutely amazing. I've never seen that book.
I haven't either. I mean, and I've seen a lot of these Captain America 70th anniversaries, and I generally just kind of bypass them and just leave them. I think they did it for like almost every single title. There was a whole bunch of in this little, variant subset or whatever that they did right around that time for all their titles. I don't ever remember seeing this one though, for whatever reason. And maybe it's selling for 75 raw.
Americana.
So maybe that's why. Maybe it's Americana, hard to find. Very cool. I like it.
I like it a lot. All right, next on the Almost 10, ladies and gentlemen. Overstreet's Fan Magazine, Fan Guide, Fan Comic number 5 from 1995. And I think everybody can see why this one is much beloved.
I do not ever remember Overstreet's Fan Magazine. I don't even remember this magazine.
Didn't they do some Spawn covers? Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember Overstreet ever having a monthly magazine. But I mean, this is from October 95. Does that predate Heir to the Empire #1?
Calling Topher, put out the Topher spat signal.
Yeah. So I mean, if it does, I mean, it's basically this is the Heir to the Empire cover, is right here on this fan cover. But I don't know. I mean, obviously that's not going to be his first appearance, but it's still for those people that do collect those, things that happen before the books actually come out. And then there was Dark Horse Insider before this. Okay. This sold for 55 raw. I would assume that it kind of looks like it's a little bit oversized. So my guess is it's probably these are probably red, just like the Wizards were. You never find them in high grade. But yeah, cool book.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely a cool book. I've never seen it. That's for sure. Supposedly, it came out in September of '95. So there you go on that one. All right, next on the list, another set of covers that Ben's got to just ruin for me because he lets everybody know about them. And that is the Hip Hop Family Tree homage covers to the 25th anniversary set. As you know, I do collect the 25th anniversary set and homage covers. It is one of the niche comic collections I do still go after. And this is a great set because I think they did the 25th anniversary homages to every Hip Hop Family Tree book. So this is, of course, the Kanye West one. Really, really cool series, Hip Hop Family Tree. It is where the who's the Kyle Piscore? Is that his name? Ed Piscore. What a great last name. I'm sure he loves that. Who has an amazing YouTube channel. Cartoonist Kayfabe, I believe, is the name of the channel. And he is just, he's like one of us, you know what I mean? He's a big time comic book nerd that just is a great creator. He did X-Men Grand Design, which is amazing. His art and storylines were in it. It was great. These are all love stories to everything that we loved growing up in the late 80s and early in the 90s, right? And there's a bunch of these Hip Hop Family Trees. He's got an Easy E one. He's got this one. There's all kinds of them. So definitely be on.
There's a Slick. I know there's a Slick Rick one, but I can't remember who else there is. But obviously, this week, this is probably why the Kanye one is selling. In particular, is selling. And I believe this is just a B cover. The other ones I think are actually like store exclusives. But this Kanye one is actually, I think, just a B cover.
So here you guys go. Just great. They got a X-Men 141 homage, as you can see. They got a giant size homage. These came out a while ago, 2015, 2016.
Yeah. But obviously you can see why this week with this, Kanye's back in the news again. He kind of lives to do that. But, but you kind of have to think about that. I mean, that's mainstream media. And if people can buy collectibles for these people that are in the news, then comics is a good way to do it. And this is one that you don't see these out there. I've never seen this. But
the other ones are
70.
The other ones are free comic book day books also, if I remember correctly.
Oh, are they? They're free?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, he did ones for free comic book day that were homages to this. Yeah. And he also did Red Room. Shout out to Alejandro, who reminds everybody. So.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, next on the list at number 26. This is a very interesting cover right here. I don't think there's very many covers that when you see it, you're just like, oof, like, man, that's rough. The art is dark and depraved, and the whole idea of the story is crazy. This is Abolition of Man #1 of a 5-part series. And it's kind of a crazy premise. This is from Previews World. It says, what do you get when you take groundbreaking philosophical essays by C.S. Lewis and feed it into an AI image generator, one line at a time? The world's first and entirely computer-generated comic book, The Abolition of Man. And if you guys remember, we've been talking about this quite often on shows of when are we going to see the first AI comic book. I thought it would be cool to get all of us content creators to create one, on our own. We could all have a couple pages and do something with. But they beat us to the punch, and they beat us to the punch with a really dark but interesting take on comics.
Yeah, so I think this has like a $6 cover price. I think that's what that says. It's
$6.99.
yeah, so it's expensive. It's only selling for like $8 to $10, but I found very, very few of them, and I'm not even sure if there were any even available to purchase after the first one's sold. This is kind of one of those, super weird indie. I mean, I've never living the life. I've never even heard of that publisher. But this is just kind of one of those that you almost want to just kind of keep an eye on, like like some of those other weird ones that came out, and then like all of a sudden 2 weeks later they were selling for like $50 or something like that. I'm not saying that this one's going to be a $50 book. I'm saying that this is just one that you may want to just because it's so different than anything else that we've ever seen. Um, and the fact that it is using, kind of a famous author's work to do it. It's not like it's some, scrub, on the side of the road. I mean, this is like, one of America's best authors ever. So it's like, um, I don't know. I have no idea what this book looks like. It looks, the art is insane looking.
Yeah. Such a good idea too. I'll be honest. Like, I have a love-hate relationship. I'm a little worried about AI, but I'm fascinated by it, especially AI art and AI music and such like that. But this is pretty hardcore, and I'm interested in it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely, if I see this, I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, it is an expensive. It's a very high cover price, which even makes it less likely that your LCS is probably going to carry more, if they do carry super tiny indies anyway. I mean, they're not going to pick up a bunch of these. There's no chance of that at a $6 cover or $7 cover price.
Yeah. I agree with H&H Comics, who says, I've lost so much time on Midjourney. Quite addictive. It is. Shout out to my homie Chuck, who does a great AI art IG page that we bring up on Beyond Wednesdays every once in a while.
Airboy said that C.S. Lewis was British. I apologize. I thought he was.
Okay.
I thought he was American, but obviously I was not alive back then, so I don't really know.
Well, it's still pretty crazy book, and we've got one more, you guys, for the Almost 10. Another gripping image, but this one's pretty damn cool too. This is a National Lampoon's magazine right here, you guys. Number 27 from 1972. Is that a for Zetta?
It is for Zetta. It's
wow.
Yeah, it's first of all, it's National Lampoon, which is supposed to be like a comedy.
Funny, yeah.
And then you look at this cover, it's one for Zetta. There's nothing funny about Frazetta at all. It's very, very dark, and this is the cover on this Frazetta. I mean, like, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know he did a National Lampoon cover. I mean, this was right at the height of his. I mean, this is when he was doing all the Vampirella, Eerie,
heavy metal.
Right heavy metal, all that stuff.
Fire and Ice was Fire and Ice the 80s, right?
I'm not really
remember
sure.
that movie? You don't remember Fire and Ice?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Planet Arizona says, "Wow, Frazetta and National Lampoons, two things I've never thought of at the same time." Exactly.
Well, this amazingly there is a CGC 9.8 of this book, and it sold this week for $2,000. But
wow,
yeah,
might be a good buy.
The cover was just so crazy that I'm like, I don't know if anybody's else has ever heard of it. Maybe they have, but I had no idea Frazetta did a National Lampoon cover.
Yeah, that's freaking cool. That is definitely freaking cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Almost 10. Come hang out with us on Beyond Wednesdays every Wednesday and Saturday live.